Hello, Seiiti Arata. Do you want to learn how to sleep quick and good? Do this. Stick out your tongue, bite it gently. Can you do that? Of course you can. Now close your eyes. Can you do it? Yeah, of course you can. Now, fall asleep. Can you do it? Of course not. This is something really important. Some of our actions obey your command immediately. You tell your body to move your tongue, to close your eyes, to lift your arm. Your body can do that. But sleep doesn't work that way. Sleep is not a voluntary action. You cannot order your brain to sleep immediately. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and you take a look at your clock and immediately have this wave of panic? Oh my God, just woke up, it's like 2:43 in the morning at night. Your brain starts to do the math, like, oh, I just have a few hours left. If I don't fall asleep immediately, tomorrow is ruined. And from that exact moment, falling back asleep becomes much, much harder. That is why I want to talk about sleep today. Not about how to sleep better in general, not about how to build the perfect night routine. I want to talk specifically about that terrible moment in the middle of the night when you wake up suddenly and you cannot seem to be able to fall asleep again. So write this down. Your goal is not to force sleep, because this simply doesn't work. The goal is to stop doing the things that keep your body awake. So today I'll be giving you 4 things. First, why you keep waking up in the middle of the night and why that's quite normal. Second, the first reaction is what's making your problem even worse. Third, how to change your body physically to calm it down. And fourth, what to do if sleep does not come back to you quickly. Number 1, you must stop treating your sleep like a disaster. The first thing you have to understand is this: waking up briefly during the night does not automatically mean that there is something wrong with you. Many people wake up once or more than one time in the middle of the night. The difference is that some people return to sleep so fast that they barely remember it actually happened. So waking up itself often is not the real problem. The real problem starts when you wake up and immediately you interpret that situation as a disaster. You think like, oh no, why am I awake again? And then you think, this should not be happening. And then you think, oh, tomorrow's going to be horrible. That sequence, that chain of thoughts, turns one brief waking into a full state of alertness. Have you ever noticed how fast this happens? Your body wakes up just a little bit, but your mind turns that little moment into an emergency. That is why the first step is mental. When you wake up, do not treat that waking as proof that the whole night is now ruined. Don't turn one moment into a catastrophe. A brief awakening is just a brief awakening. The more natural you stay, the easier it becomes for you, for your body to settle again. Okay, so that was the first correction. Let's now take a look at the specific behavior that makes everything worse almost instantly. That's tip number 2. You should never take a look at the clock. This is one of the worst things you can do in the middle of the night. Because the moment you're going there and checking the clock, your mind starts to calculate. Oh, I have 4 hours left. Oh, I have 3 hours and 20 minutes. Oh, if I don't fall asleep in 10 minutes, something bad will happen. Or maybe I can still make it. Your mind is there doing all those calculations. And that mental math in the middle of the night is not neutral. It creates a lot of pressure on you. And that pressure pushes your body further away from sleep. The clock turns that sleepy moment into a performance moment. Now you're not just lying in bed. Now you're watching your time disappear. There is a countdown. You are under pressure to solve that problem fast. So here is a very simple rule. Remove the clock from your line of sight before you go to sleep. Turn it around. Put the phone away. Do not leave glowing numbers where your eyes can find them. If you wake up and the clock is visible, your brain will look. So you should not be depending on your discipline in the middle of the night. Just remove the temptation. That is even better before your bedtime. This one change will help you a lot because it prevents that chain reaction from starting. You see? But the clock is not the only mistake. There's another one that makes the whole problem with your body even worse. That is tip number 3. You must keep your body as quiet and inactive as possible. When people wake up, they cannot sleep. Many people start moving too much. They sit up, they stand up, they walk around, they turn on lights, they check their phone, they go to another room. All of that is sending the message to the body that something bad is going on. The message is that the resting period now is over. Now your activity is starting. And that is the exact opposite of what you want, right? So when you wake up in the middle of the night, keep the body quiet first. Stay lying down if possible. Keep your room dark. Don't start a chain reaction that will tell your body that it is now time to stay awake. Now, of course, if you truly need, for example, to go to the bathroom, then go. But even then, keep everything as low stimulation as possible. Keep the lights dim or off if it's possible. Don't check messages. Don't start scrolling. Don't turn that quick bathroom trip into a full wake-up sequence. What you want is to protect that drowsy state instead of destroying it. Think about it this way. When you wake up in the middle of the night, you're standing near the door that takes you to the sleep realm. But then, many times you just walk away. If you turn on the lights, you start moving around, if you're stimulating your brain, you're walking farther away from the door that will lead you to sleep. So, if checking the time makes your mind more active, if moving around makes your body more active, what should you do instead? Here's tip number 4. You must give your body a slow and boring rhythm. When you cannot fall back asleep, one of the best things you can do is to slow your breathing. Why you're breathing? Because slow breathing will help to reduce your physical tension. It gives your body a rhythm that is steady, repetitive, and safe. And that is exactly the opposite of panic. A simple pattern is this. You're going to be breathing in gently through your nose, 4 seconds, hold for a moment until it's comfortable, and then breathe out slowly, 5 to 6 seconds. The important part is not the exact number, right? How many seconds to breathe in and out. It has to be slow and easy. The exhale ideally should take a little bit longer than the inhale. Don't force big dramatic dreams. This is not a performance. You're not trying to win here. You're just giving your body a relaxed state. And while you do this, keep your attention on something very boring, something very physical. Feel the air moving in, the air moving out. Feel the mattress under your body. Feel the blanket. Simply return to simple physical sensations. Now, why does that help? Because a brain that is doing mental math, worrying about tomorrow, trying to force sleep is a brain that is very active. A brain that is gently followed through slow breathing, neutral body sensations has a much better chance of becoming sleepy again. So that's it. The technique is simple. Less thinking, less pressure, less stimulation in a quiet rhythm. But what if you do all that and still you cannot fall asleep? Here's tip number 5. It's a bonus for you. If sleep does not come back, stop chasing it. This is the paradox that many people do not understand. The more desperately you try to force your sleep, the more awake you will become. So if a few minutes pass and sleep is not returning, stop treating sleep like a task that you need to complete right now. Just let it be. Stay resting. That does not mean grabbing your phone and starting your day early. It means just letting go that inner fight. Your only job is just to remain calm, quiet, unstimulated. Rest is still better than panic. Quiet lying in the dark is still better than turning your night into a battle. And this matters because the sentence, "Oh, I must sleep right now," this creates stress, and stress is one of the many things that is keeping you awake. So replace that sentence with something better. You can tell yourself, my job is only to rest. Sleep can return when it wants. That will remove your pressure. And when pressure drops, your body often relaxes enough for sleep to come back by itself. That is why people who often fall asleep, they're trying so hard. They stop trying hard and then the problem gets fixed. So remember this. If you wake up in the middle of the night, the first goal is not to try to force your sleep. The first goal is to avoid making yourself more awake, right? Don't treat waking up like a disaster. Don't check the time. Do not move around, at least not too much. Keep the room dark. Use your body in a quiet way. Use slow breathing. Put your attention to something boring, something physical, like the feeling of the air moving in and out. And sleep does not return quickly, stop chasing it. Just stay resting. Let go of the pressure. Your body falls asleep much more easily when you stop treating your sleep like a problem that you must solve immediately. All right, so what did you learn today from our time here together? Falling back asleep is often less about doing one magical thing and much more about removing the things that push your sleep away. Less panic, less math, less simulation, less effort. And this is not just about the sleep, being asleep. It's about learning how to not get into panic. And that ability will change your nights, but also will change your days as well. So for you to be able to train your attention so your mind stops running automatically toward pressure, worry, distraction, you can come and take a look at the focus training in Arata Academy. I will teach you practical methods to guide your attention on purpose. You can go to the link arata.se/focus.